if your professional life has had its ups and downs, we can certainly say the same for your private life as well, which not too many people will know about. Let's go back to your first wife, your first wife, Phyllis, who you had a daughter with.
Yeah, I had a daughter and sons. Yeah, Phyllis was living in. Well, I met Phyllis used to work in Scotland, live in Scotland, and we was at a stag do in Benidorm, and a big coach pulled up. 68 girls got off it, all from Scotland. So from the factory, like where they worked, you know. And finished up knowing and then coming. But then I ran away to Jersey for a year, and everyone thought I was dead, like I'd been from here. And I come back from Jersey, and they said, "Oh, Phyllis has been on the phone, worried about you." I rang up. I said, "Oh, I've done a season in Jersey." He never even told me mum and dad. I just disappeared. Just went mad, Julie, mad. You know, when you're a kid, you don't know, dear. And then Phyllis come down. We got married, lived in Tottenham. And then we went to South Ockenden. We got a council flat. South Ockenden was the worst place, the only place you could get a council place with. When you went there, everyone else never had you, but South Ockenden would have you. I loved it there. And near Romford, South Ockenden, Aveley. And after that, yeah, and it was just, you know, merry-go-round, isn't it? You know, life.
What happened with Phyllis?
I think the bookmaking got why we split up was because of bookmaking. I was going out every day. And I wanted all the cars and everything and all the big. I thought I was a little bit bigger than what I was, I suppose. You know, flashness and all that. And then I met someone else, and I was at the races, and I met Sue, who was my wife. You know, I never actually, you know, my second wife. I've only been married twice, and I met Sue, and we had children there. And she lived in Birmingham at the time, and met her and everything. And then the game was really good for me. I was getting big money. I bought an house in Toaster, called it the Winning Post as well. And everything was flying. And then Dettori Day, I think she was 7 months pregnant with Charlie, my youngest son now, and you can imagine everything went up in the air. But we stayed together.
She stood by you through Dettori,
she did stand by me, yeah, give her a due. She had an house in Birmingham, Pearman's Close, never forget it, 21 Pearman's Close, and we had to convert the garage into a bedroom, and I stayed there and never had nothing, and built up again from there and that. And we had a good life. We had a good life there.
You said that you've always had a problem with love, and you said the reason for that is because it's hard to love when you've had a bad day at the races.
I think that's right, Julie. Yeah, as well. It is hard.
It affects you that much in your private life.
I don't think it's. What happens if you've gone out with your bit of money in your pocket, you've had a bad day? Everyone who says to you, "Oh, it don't make no difference whether I win or lose." It all depends what you're playing with. If you've got £1 million in your pocket, and if you do £2,000, it don't make no difference. But if you've only got £2,000 in your pocket and you do your £2,000, you're thinking, "Well, what am I going to do tomorrow?" And when you get in, and all of a sudden, you know, you're watching that telly, and someone says, "I got a text," and it's Love Island, and you think to yourself, "Hang on a minute, I've done so. Where am I going to? Am I going to go to work tomorrow? How am I going to get up?" You know, and then I've been like that all my life, honestly. You know. It's been like living from day to day and different. Even when you're at it right off, like, you know, with money, you're still thinking, what am I going to do tomorrow? You know, it's just so strange. My life has been, Julie. Honestly, it's been up and down so much.
You've also obviously got this reputation as the belly from the telly, and at that time that you were with Sue, you got up to 37 stone.
37 stone, yeah.
Which must have caused real health problems for you. I know you've told me about times on Sky Dogs where you know you couldn't even. Well, you could barely stand. You couldn't get yourself to the toilet.
Barely stand. I was at Sunderland one night. I'll never forget. I was dying to do a wee, and I just stood there with a microphone, like weeing myself on the floor. No one looks. You know, that's how bad I was with it. And then when I had the operation, when I had it done, and then all of a sudden I'd come home, and you think to yourself, "Oh, walk through this." You know, it was. You know, I had to walk. I couldn't even get on the trolley. They never had a trolley big enough for me to take me to the operating theatre. So I had to walk to the operating theatre, like, you know, to have it done. And I'll never forget the anaesthetist, as I was lying there, I looked at his arm, and he had a Tottenham Hotspur sign on his arm. And being an Arsenal supporter, and I went, "Oh, no." And I thought I was having a nightmare. And he said, he was speaking to me, he said, "Are you Arsenal?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, I'll put the needle in a bit deeper for you." And then I was gone, and then I had the operation done, and the actual surgeon said, "In 5 months you'll lose 14 stone. You'll be down to 23.5 stone." And he was right. It's how long it took, like, you know, but...
Why were you so big? Was it a
Julie,
food-related issue?
I do not know. On my life, I don't know why I got so big.
Did you eat a lot?
Well, I must have ate a lot to get to that size, you know, and but now, since I've had that gastric sleeve done, I can't eat meat, and I can only eat fish and little bits of portions of that. But you can't get any littler, you can't get any lower, you can't get any bigger. But I am living proper, you know. Well, I say living proper. I've always lived a good life, you know. Even when you've got nothing in your pocket, I've always had a good life, you know. But I'm now living in a little village now. We've got 30 houses in the village.
We should go back a bit on that one, because when you had this operation, your personal life then took another turn.
Yeah, biggest turn of my life this was, and I've just come out of hospital and I went home, and when I was having the operation, Sue went through my phone, and there was texts there from someone who said, "Oh, please God, I hope you get out of this, girl, and everything, and we'll have a bit of lunch together when you've done it and everything." The girl that used to ride my horses when I had winners, like Sharon, you know, and then Sue took upon it that I was having an affair with her. Well, 37 stone, you don't have too many affairs. I'll be truthful, the only affair I wanted to have was with McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken. And anyway, she left me. I think I had the operation about 4 days. I come home and she said it's all over and everything, the marriage and different thing, and I was gone. Like, you know, you say I'm happy-go-lucky, but I lived in my car for about 2 weeks in a Mercedes, but and then Sue's boy said I could stay there with them, but I never wanted that. I had out a flat, paid all the money, couldn't go in there at night. I was used to sleep in the car outside, and in the morning at 6 o'clock I used to go in there, have a shower, get ready, and then just go out again and go in betting shops and anything. I was absolutely done. My head was done. And about 3 weeks later, Sharon rang me, and I told her what had happened. She said, "Come here with us. Come up here, like in, you know, where we live now." And she only had a 2-bedroom, like up and down, and with her daughter and that. And it was hard at first, you could imagine. And then she split up with her husband, and it looked like that. It was like Sue was right, but I'll go on Jeremy Cole any programme to prove that there was nothing in it in them days. And I've finished up now with Sharon, and I've been with her now 5 years. So my life is so different to what I used to live, where we used to go to Birmingham, all the lovely restaurants and everything, you know, and a lot of holidays. But now, I'm enjoying life again. You know, it is hard. Don't go in betting shops no more. I've given that up as well, going in betting shops. So really, my life's getting better. And as I said, I've got a pitch on every racetrack in the country, really.
I think everybody watching this will want a fairy tale ending to the story. Are you happy now?
Can't give you a fairy tale ending.
Are you happy?
I'm as happy now as I've been for a long, long time.
That's
I'm
good.
happy now as I've been for a long, long time. But fairy tale endings, we don't know. Is there it's usually a good ending, isn't there, a fairy tale ending? But all I want to do really is I want my children to grow up, my grandchildren. It'd be lovely to see, you know, my grandchildren more than what I do and everything, and give time. I think in this life, Julie, it's not all about money. You know, it's like bookmakers now. You go to the racetrack, you get bookies who want to lay a bet, like Bet Fred, he'll lay a bet, Ben Keeve, he'll want to lay a bet. Myself, I play, but not too big now, rather than stand one for thousands, what I used to, or million. You know, if I ever lose an hour for £400 or £500, I think, well, that's enough to stand them for, like, you know. But look, life is only what you make it, isn't it, babe?
What do you think of the bookmaking industry now? It's obviously changed a lot.
I think the betting shops, you know, I wouldn't want a betting shop if you give me £1 million, because it's hard. It's not that. It's all about my dream to be. Now, you just said that. If you had, I'd love to have a bit of land, retired greyhounds, but treat them like what they should be treated like. Have horses, retired race horses as well. Have like a block of kennels for 40 greyhounds, and all the beds are lovely with, you know, like Kevin Hutton does, treats them like, but they're bedrooms, aren't they, with the dogs? And then have horses as well, or retired race horses there. Get somewhere with about 6 or 7, 10 acres of land and look after, because without dogs and horses, I wouldn't be here. You know, I wouldn't be here, and I think we've got to show a lot of respect to the game that we're in. You know, bookmakers, you ask some bookmakers, if you say about an injured greyhound or an injured horse, they don't care. I've seen people at the racecourse cheering on horses to fall. You know what I mean? Cheering on horses to fall. I've owned horses, you know, I've brought up with horses now, even, you know, where we are. And, you know, when they cheer horses, and it just turns me over, Julie, to know what the rubbish there is out there. And a lot of these people, for money, you know, when an horse falls, you see people put their hands up in the air, oh, that's good. And little do they realise that horse could have broke its leg, or the dog could have broke its leg, and we've got to stop that. You know, I don't know how we're going to do it.
You're really welfare conscious, aren't you?
I started off in the kennels, didn't I? You know, if that was my first job in the kennels and everything, and I just would love to put something back, you know, into it. You know, I can't afford to buy all the acres and everything to do, but you never know. You know, something I might have a go on the lottery, Julie. I think that's my only chance of getting the money.
Looking back on your life as a whole, with all the ups and downs we've talked about, are you glad that you've been around bookmaking, either as a player or a layer?
I suppose, I know this is going to sound terrible, but I think when I used to sell flowers down the market, I was more happier. You know, when I was skint, but when you was first brought up, you know, I would never have known bookmaking. I would have never known what £1,000 looked like, or £2,000 or £5,000. I was more happy going to get me a bit of money, working, and you know, like doing me flowers down the market, you know, Level Lane, and maybe my children, you know, my sons, they all like a bet, unfortunately. You know, and I don't think it's done them any good wanting to, you know, because all they say to me is, well, what chance have we got with what you've done? And you know, it's all down to me again, isn't it, really? But what can we do, Julie? I've loved my life anyway, so. And I'm back on the TV. It might only be your TV. I'm back on the Julie Collier TV.
And still with a big smile on your face. I know everybody will have enjoyed hearing your story. And as I say, get the book if you want to read more. But
Angels, Tears and
I hope we'll see you on some primetime TV again sometime.
Well, that's down to you,
you're great value.
That's down to you, babe.
But thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. And everyone, well, what can I say? Thank you very much. Thank you.